welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great. Today is part 2 of the part 2 video I did yesterday. I know there's like video inception going on here, but I'm gonna leave the video I did yesterday talking about products that I liked so much I bought more of, linked down below, and I'm also going to link the initial thing that spurred all of this off, which was my video talking about one-off products in my collection. So I'm gonna leave those linked down below. Check those out. Today, similar to yesterday's video, I'm going to talk about products that I have multiples of, but how I accumulated these products is a little different. The products I'm talking about, I bought all in one go. I went all in. I am that bitch. I'm not saying I suggest it, okay? I feel like sometimes, you know, it works out and it's amazing, and I now have a ton of products in one category or from a brand that I love, and it's awesome and like woohoo. Usually that means I got them on a deal too, or I didn't have to pay separate shipping or whatever. And when it works out obviously pretty well. But when you haven't tried a product from a brand and you then try to buy a lot of that product, you run the risk of not liking them and then being stuck with not one, not two, but however many you bought. And so, yeah, I definitely don't necessarily suggest going all in, buying a lot of products at one time before trying a formula. But that's not always who I am, and as much as I can know that, I still do it, and I'm going to talk about some of the times that I've done that, good, bad. That's what we're talking about today. As much as I try not to, I can't help but sometimes be that all-in bitch. Like sometimes I'm just like, bet it. Like I'm sometimes like that. So that's what this is. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. Let's talk about these Huda Neon palettes. I picked these up Black Friday 2019, I think. So these were an amazing deal. That's one of the ways that, you know, it convinces me, it tempts me to go all in and, you know, add to cart times 7. And so I got these neon palettes on a very good deal. They were like $11 a piece. Normally they're like 30, or maybe, I think they're 30 normally. There was a green one, which is no longer here, but I bought all 3 of them. I bought the whole collection, and the reason I had held off on buying them for so long was because they didn't get the best reviews. I feel like the neon palettes from Huda, I just was hearing mixed things, and I was like, I'm not gonna spend $90 on these palettes for them to be shitty, is what I thought. So when they were $11 and I could basically get all 3 for the price of one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get all of them. Like, why even? There's no reason to sit here and try to figure out which ones I should get. Like, fuck it, there's really, that's the thing. Fuck it. Fuck it. Like, that's the mentality behind some of these purchases. And so I went for it. This is the neon pink one. I still have this, and I do like these palettes. The green one that I got rid of, I'll put a picture of it here. The colors in there just weren't quite pigmented enough. Like, they were fine if it's the only thing you had and you want a subtler look. I think you can make it work. The shimmers in these palettes just kind of get hard pan. They're a little bit harder pressed. They're almost there, and I think that's what's kind of like sad, like makes me sad about these palettes, is the mattes are great. I like those and I keep them around for that. The shimmers are beautiful, but they do tend to be pressed kind of hard. They can get hard pan. It's kind of hard to like get them out of the pan onto the eye, and it's a tragedy because they're so beautiful. And I think that's one of the things I'm really shocked and excited about with the new Huda palette that I have, is that the formula of those really pretty shimmery duochromes is really soft in a way that you can get it on your eye, you can swatch it, you can use it. And I was scared it was going to be like this, but I think, and from you guys, I think it's because this isn't the Italy formula and that is. Yeah, this is made in China, so I think that might be it. Like, it's just a higher quality formula coming in those larger palettes. Anyway, I bought this one and this is it. I bought the green one, and then the last one here, this is the orange one. And I think they're just beautiful palettes. I really do like the color stories. I think they're okay, and I think for the price, like, I really can't be too mad about it, but I definitely just like went all in even though I had some reservations about if they were going to be good or not. And at the end of the day, it's hard for me to say because I know who I am. I know as a person, like, if I want something, even regardless of the reviews, I'm always going to be like, but what if it would have worked for me? Maybe I would have liked how that performed. Yeah, maybe they want more pigment, but I'm okay with something sheer. Maybe this, like, I will always think that in my head. So at the end of the day, there are just some products, if I'm lusting after it, I kind of know that, like, I'll always have that little tickle of wanting or, you know, desire no matter what, right? And so I could sit here and say, oh, I wish I didn't pick these up, but I know that had I not picked these up, not experienced them for myself, I would would have always wondered like how good they could have been. So anyway, all in on those. It was just like an okay thing. The price made up for the actual quality to me, and so it kind of just felt like a wash. Next, I want to talk about these lip liners from Revolution Beauty. I picked up both of these at the same time. I'd never tried any of the Makeup Revolution lip liners, and at the time I wanted to try like tons of lip liners. I wanted to do like a lip liner video. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore because I honestly use the same lip liners like over and over and over. But anyway, I picked up two instead of just trying one, and this is the example of like, it's not that big of a deal because these aren't that expensive, but had I just picked up one, tried it, then I would know, oh, I don't like this formula, I'm not going to pick this up, and this could have just been completely avoided from, you know, buying and coming into my life. But since I picked both of them up at the same time, I don't like either of them. I thought this was going to work because it is a pencil formula, but this is one of those pencil like sharpenable formulas that goes on super creamy, almost like an eyeliner. Like these feel like Urban Decay eyeliner lip liners, you know, and I don't like that. It dries down in a way that I don't think is flattering, where it's a very sharp line. It's not movable, it's not blendable as you eat things. Where you eat, you know, the oils can take it off, but then everywhere else it's still there in a very harsh and a noticeable way. It's just not my thing. The Kylie lip liners are similar to these two. It also just feels like you're almost shellacking your lips with how creamy it is. Like it's hard to just apply a little bit. And then by the end of it, it's just this really opaque lip line. And I like something that's a little more buildable, a little bit like harder and semi-sheer, where you can build it up if you want to that opacity, if you want a really bold, strong lip. But for every day, you can still get something a little bit more natural. So this was a bust. And you know, all in, luckily I didn't buy like 7 different colors. I only bought the 2, but I definitely could have avoided one of these had I known the formula. And I definitely think with lip products, that's something I'm learning, because I'll talk about these next. Now, I accumulated these in a different way because I bought this in a set from the bat. Like, that's the point of the set. It's like, oh, I'm going to save money and I'm going to get 3 products for the price of really 1 by the time it had gone on sale and when I had purchased it. And again, the disappointment then came in 3s instead of in a 1-pack. So I had been wanting to try the Milk Kush lip balms for a very long time. I love lip balms. I love lip balms so much. And so when the holidays were over, the 3-pack went on sale for like $17, and I think the regular lip balm is like 20 or so. So it was cheaper to get all 3, and it had the regular lip balm, it had 2 other tinted ones, and so I was so excited. I was like, this is perfect. And in my head it made sense, right? Like, I'm saving money and I'll get to try 3 instead of just 1. They're all full size. Like, this is amazing. I'm so smart. I lucked out. I'm getting this on a deal. And obviously, yes, I did save money instead of just buying the 1, but again, it's like also about just having leftovers. So I ended up having 3 of them. I didn't like the taste of this lip balm. It is like a kind of like weed lip balm, and I'm learning, like, I just don't particularly love the smell of cannabis in perfumes, in a lot of stuff. I don't know, it's just not my favorite, and I think that it's kind of strong in that one. So I just didn't particularly love it on my lips. I didn't love the tinted balms that came in it. And do you guys want to know the saddest part? When BoxyCharm was having a sale, I bought, even though I knew all the things I just told you, this was $4, and I couldn't resist because it was like a neutral shade, and I was like, maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll like it now. No, I still don't like the taste at the end of the day. It's kind of minty too. It does have mint to it, but it just feels like, almost tastes off to me like it's old, and maybe that's the case, but I don't think so. I think it's just, I don't get on with it. You know, like, I don't get on with the taste, and it's something that tends to irritate me, and I can't stop like brain loop thinking about it, you know what I mean? So such a bust. Tons of like freaking milk lip balms around my freaking house that I have to like find new homes for, instead of just having the 1, figuring it out, and then dealing with that 1 product. And I've definitely learned my lesson when it comes to lip products. I try not to get suckered into the fantasy of the savings of lip kits and stuff like that, because if I don't like the formula, I now have so many of those lip products hanging around that I don't enjoy. So yeah, these were a bust. Let's talk about a good one though. Let's talk about something good. And this was like an all-in moment. Like, all in, I was like, I've never heard of this brand. I'm excited. Let's see what's going on. I had a really good coupon, and that was part of my reasoning. I wanted to get free shipping, and I was interested in all of them. I had been looking up swatches, and I was like, these look like really good though. And these are from Phase Zero. These are cream eyeshadows, and they call them the metal foil shadows. I picked up 7 in one go. Never tried anything from the brand, never tried these shadows before, picked up 7 of them. This is the all-in moment I'm talking about, guys, where it's just like, damn, girl, you doubled down, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, yes, I did. I was really hoping. I had read some good reviews, so I did have a little bit to go off, and I do feel like this one paid off. I think they're like gems that I don't know why no one talks about. Well, I do, because no one knows what the heck this is. I found out about this brand from FabFitFun. I was scrolling, probably avoiding doing something, and I was looking at the coupon section on FabFitFun's site, and it said 40% off Phase Zero products, and I was like, that's a pretty steep discount. I should go over there and see if there's anything I want to check out. And I saw these cream shadows, and I've been into that kind of natural, like metallics and bronzes and neutral colors, but maybe a little bit something different. And this was like giving it all to me. So I was like, I think I'm gonna do it. This is what I'm wearing as a lid color today. It's absolutely stunning. This is the shade Barbie Girl. It's like a mauvey pink. And these are, I think, like a slightly softer shadow that's similar to Rowan. And I love the Rowan shadows. So I really have been enjoying these, you guys. Like I said, they're a little bit softer. I do find that these dry down though, and I don't really get the creasing, but I feel like just in terms of like the shine and the sparkle and the metallicness and how I use them, how they look, like just everything, the colors. The packaging isn't as nice as Rowan, but everything else is just very similar, like a really good dupe and a better price pointed dupe. So I guess I'll go through really fast. This is the shade Stargirl, which, oh, they're so pretty, you guys. They're like so metallic and just beautiful. I'm telling you, I should get the rest of them. Like I wouldn't mind having the rest of them. I just think they're a really stunning cream shadow, truly. Anyway, Stargirl is a like light tangerine gold. This one here is called Smudge, and this is a beautiful just bronze. Some are a little bit more creamy than others, but again, it's not like super duper creamy, and it's not like a putty material. It's not like the ColourPop Super Shocks. It is more like a cream, but a little more firm than something super whipped. I don't know if this is making sense, but softer than a Rowan shadow. Like, I don't know if any of these references are hitting it home and describing it to you, but I really hope so. Like I said, I'm wearing Barbie Girl today, that pink one. And let me zoom you in because it's, oh my God. Okay, let me zoom you in because it is the only thing that's on my lid, so pretty. I like love it. Like I have no other shimmer on the lid. That is from the shadow. Looks so freaking good. If I sound like I'm whispering a little bit, I kind of am. It's kind of late and I don't want to like, you know, perturb the neighbors. Okay, this is the shade Status, which is a beautiful golden bronze. Oh my gosh, like these are just perfect one shadow looks, honestly. And depending on how light or how deep you go and your skin tone, like they're just gonna look beautiful, honestly. This is a beautiful one. It's called It's Me. It's like a taupe. This is one that I've used quite a bit. Yeah, I feel like it's like the way that the Rowan shadows perform after you've really like swirled your finger and then you've started warming that product up. That's kind of what this texture is to me. I wouldn't say that these have like the texture those do, but it does have the sparkle. These are more metallic, but it does have the sparkle in that metallic. So it's a little bit of a smoother formula while still having the shine, again, if that makes sense. I should tell you the name. This is called Queen. This one here, absolutely stunning champagne. And then last is a shade called Princess, which is an even lighter baby pink. It's like a pink type champagne color. I'm just telling you, if you're looking for a cream shadow, it's gonna be absolutely stunning. Look no further. These are beautiful, and I feel like price-wise, they're pretty affordable. If you can get them on a discount, I mean, even better. But I think if you're gonna pick up a couple, even full price, I think you'll be pretty impressed. It's just in plastic packaging, but so far I haven't had any issues with them drying out, and I don't think it will be an issue like that because they're not like that. I don't know. And that's where they kind of remind me of the Rowan shadows also. So just absolutely, like, look at them, you guys. So good. It like, this is one of the things that gets me so excited about makeup, like finding the gems, finding things that I feel like I haven't heard people talk about or definitely like brand new to me, and these are them. So pretty. I'm really glad that one worked out for me. Next are some more eyeshadows that didn't quite work out that way, okay? These are from Rituel de Fille, and I had been wanting to try Rituel de Fille for a very long time, and so when they came out with like a second edition of these really beautiful pigment eyeshadows, I was stoked, and I was like, I'm not gonna miss out, because the first set of them, I'll put a picture here, mouth-wateringly beautiful. I had fantasies about these eyeshadows that I was so sad I couldn't get, and so I was like, hell no, I'm not letting it happen again. I'm gonna freaking pick them up. So I bought all 3 of them in the set. Again, never tried this formula before, never tried the brand before, and unfortunately, I hate these. I love the colors. I think the colors are really beautiful. I especially love Tellurium. I've talked about this before, so I might sound like a broken record here, but look inside. Look inside there. Absolutely beautiful. Now you tell me how to get it out. Your finger barely fits. It's so flaky and kind of thick. A brush doesn't really work. Like, they just kind of, you guys, I thought these were going to be like loose powdery pigments. They are not. They're kind of like semi-chunky, not wet, but they have a moistness to them that isn't just completely dry. I find that they don't go on very well. Like, I think someone told me to really use like a dense dome brush to really blend them on, and I'll try it, but I'm telling you, like, it wasn't what I expected. I don't think it's very good, and unfortunately it sucked because these are not cheap. For this little thing, I think these are like 30 or 40 bucks. I think together I definitely spend over $100 for all 3 of these. Cutest little packaging, cool ass brand. Not a good product for me. So that was sad. Absolutely sad. We can talk about another win though. Let's talk about another one. These are from Patrick Ta. Let me clean them off a little. And these are blushes. I got these from Ipsy. They had them on sale for like 25 each, and I think they're normally like 30 or so, or 32. And so I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to try them. I'm gonna get 2. So I picked up the shade She's Seductive, and then this one is called She's Adorable. So this one's more of like a mauve neutral. This one's more of a peachy neutral. And these have been great. I've loved them a lot. These have been like my go-to blushes for the year so far. I'm very, very happy with them, and I'm glad because, again, I picked them at the same time, hadn't tried the formula from Patrick Ta. Could have been something that sucked, or maybe one color was good but the other one sucked, or the formula was just bad, but I've really enjoyed the formula on both of these. It's just a solid formula, so that one was great. Very happy with those. I don't feel inclined to pick up any more at the moment, maybe not even into the future. Like, I didn't want to pick up the blush palette because the colors didn't work for me, but I think if he had released you know, colors that maybe I did think would suit me, I would be tempted to pick those up. I'd love to know what some of your favorite blushes are, like blush formulas on the market. Please let me know, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel in a rut with my blushes, honestly. I guess next I'll talk about some other blushes that I bought at the same time. I bought these last Black Friday, and I have since decluttered one of these, so I just happen to still have it hanging around since it's a product I didn't really enjoy, and I like to keep those just for different videos at different times. Just thought I'd let you know, that's why I still have this thing. But these are both from Kimchi Chic. I was excited to try the brand, so for Black Friday it was kind of my all-in moment to purchase some things from the brand. So I picked up the Taylor blush in Vacation, this one here, and then I picked up the Mercedes R blush. I'm keeping this one. This one's still in my collection. Super bright, right? These are blush duos, and I really love that about them. And you would think, like, this looks so pretty, but there's something about the way this pulls on my skin that I don't enjoy. It's too pink and not brown enough. Even the brown side tends to look really pink on me, like too girly bubblegummy pink that I'm just not really into for every day. So this was definitely an example of, like, the formula is fine. They're a little bit more pigmented than maybe I'd prefer initially, but I still think they're good, totally. And that's just like a preference thing, not like a formula issue. But buying them at the same time, like, this one works because, I mean, it's already bright. I already know, like, damn, we're doing something with this. But with this one, color-wise, all that, it just didn't work out. So I kept one ultimately, and then ended up getting rid of one. I'm really glad I didn't pick up more blushes. Not that I think those would be horrible, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, they'd be fine, but they're not gonna be like favorites. They're not gonna be things that are like so stand out and so worth having 3 of, you know, in my collection, or even more. Kind of an in-between, you know? Next, let's talk about some liners. I have some liners here from Glossier Play, which I don't believe is a thing anymore. I picked these up because I loved the colors. They were all so interesting, and I should have just bought one, seeing how the formula was. I just figured they'd be good. At the time, I was pretty into the different Glossier products I had been trying, but these, I just don't love them. There's something about them that they're like not quite as pigmented as I'd want. And it seems like in the swatch, like those look pretty pigmented, but as you actually use them on the eyes, I feel like they blend away into nothing. They just don't work how I want them to. They don't. And then that's 3 of them, all 3 of them. They also don't work in the waterline, which I think would be really nice. So unfortunately, these were not a good one for me, and I think the colors are so unique. They're definitely unique to my collection, and that's why I keep them around. Like, I can make them work. They're just not a joy to use, and if I had known that from just using one, I wouldn't then go purchase 2 others, you know? And that's like the point of when being all in is not good. Like, you could have known that from the one, and then you could have saved yourself, because some of these things too, maybe they're not like the worst, but they're not the best. And I feel like for me to have multiples of a product in my collection, they probably should be the best. Like, they should be something that good, you know? And these don't do that. The other liners that I have in here that I have multiple of and bought multiple of at one time are from Dose of Colors, and this was 100% because of a sale. I went all in because these were like $3 a piece on BoxyCharm, y'all. $3 a piece for Dose of Colors eyeliners. Like, I mean, can I lose 5 of these for the price of like 1 full price? So I just did it. I figured they can't be that bad. There has to be one that would make it worth it. And so far I'm pretty happy. I don't want these full price, but I think the colors are pretty unique. I think that they're definitely pigmented and they blend out nicely for the ones that I have used. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've definitely used the navy blue and the gray ones the most, but the other ones, I keep being like, are you sure they're not lip liners? But they say eyeliners on them and they're like red colors, which I think is really unique. So that's another reason too. Whenever it comes to any of these like eyeliner pencils, I do tend to like to collect unique colors and add them, because these are the types of liners I use the most. I don't really use liquid and do wings and stuff, but I will use colorful liners, black liners, brown liners on my lower lash line. So that one was great, and it worked out being all in, especially for that price point. I kind of made sure that even if it was that bad, I really wasn't losing out on a ton of money. And that's another thing, like when we're talking about full price, there's no sale, there's no incentive like that. And you're gonna go all in, like, I don't know. Be careful, y'all. Be careful doing that. Last thing I want to talk about is a more recent purchase. And when it came to ColourPop's, I don't even know, what is this collection? What is this called? Y2K? I think it was the Y2K collection. I purchased all the little palettes because look at them. They are so cute. The color stories are absolutely adorable. I am so happy these can be depotted. Like, these are easy to remove because they're just magnetic. So they're not a complete bust. Like, I don't want you to get me wrong, but you know, I think the reason that this is disappointing to me is because I got sucked into the cuteness factor, the like little tiny palettes, like all the things. And then when I got them, they were disappointing to me. And you guys already know it's because the packaging just feels pretty cheap. And don't get me wrong, these were pretty cheap, but I didn't need these in my life. It wasn't like the most thought out purchase. And so for them to have like issues like that are something that bother me, it sucks that I don't just have one and instead have all 3, you know, to kind of deal with and work through. So yeah, I mean, they definitely are a vibe, and I do like that about them. I need to like use them more. I have a video coming up where I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use them. So with ColourPop, sometimes it's, you know, it's a risk going all in. Even again, if you don't like hate the product, even it just being a okay, a meh, like having 3 meh products that you just added to your collection is such a downer, man, instead of like 3 amazing products. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. These are all the products that I went all in with, and some of them were huge wins and other ones were not. I definitely try my hardest. I try really hard to not do that too much. I've definitely experienced some bad things, especially when we're talking about like higher price points, or you know, enough items where the price point of that entire purchase is getting high. I try really hard to remember, okay, Lauren, just try one. If you love it, you can go back. They'll be excited to have you back, okay? And I hope that this video can give you that insight for yourself, like what kind of shopper are you? And maybe, you know, if it's not worked out for you in the past, maybe you can take a second and pause sometimes at least and avoid some of those purchases where you're going all in, and maybe it would be better to just buy one thing, maybe 2 instead of 7, and find out if you like those items before you invest a bunch of money in them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of like mini 2-part / 3-part video series. That's everything. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye. Okay, bye.